Oh, I think you muted yourself too again. Yeah, you did. Uh-oh.
Sorry, when I use the co-host feature on my laptop, thank you, so sorry. When I use the co-host feature on my laptop, clearly I mute myself on as the host. Okay, well, good grief. All right, well, welcome again. I'm Shauna. This is Gentle Yoga and Meditation. Thanks to McGaw. I did get a call yesterday, so maybe starting classes. This is all unofficial, but maybe being able to start some classes outdoors on starting in June 15th. So they're beginning to contact instructors. So yoga would probably be out on the grass over by the child care center, but more details to follow. Anyway, they're trying to figure that out so we could have the appropriate social distancing and all the appropriate clean equipment, all that stuff. Anyway, so they're working hard to figure out how we can all get back together. And in the meantime, I really appreciate you coming to the mat. Choosing to practice is important. So I really appreciate showing up today. And good. So let's go ahead, get comfortable sitting today. I thought we'd work at the beginning with a couple of mudras. And I have a theme today that's around sort of low back release, but just in thinking about our back generally, as you settle in, maybe resting the palms face down, you can just take your mind's eye to the back side of your body and just feel that gentle concave curve at the back of your neck, your cervical spine, and then the convex, that slight convex curve of your thoracic, your rib cage spine. And that flows back into that concave curve of the lumbar with a little short convex curve of your sacral spine at the end. So just imagining, allowing yourself to just kind of see as though you had eyes in the back of your head. Just kind of see that beautiful flowing of interconnected curves that make up the back side of your body, that make up your spine. And I think really the secret to a healthy back is just trying to honor that natural alignment, find those natural curves in the spine to help whenever we're sitting or moving, to help do that in a way that's beneficial, that helps us flourish. So any way that you need to adjust here, we're going to work first with the Vitam mudra. So you can just bring your hands. I'm not doing anything fancy. It's just like I'm holding like a little medicine ball or a little ball out front, palms towards each other. And we've been talking a little bit about the koshas, these energy sheaths. The first one being the physical body, the second one being the energetic or the pranayama body. And this one nicely supports that energetic body. So you could close your eyes here. You could let the shoulders rest onto your rib cage, feeling your shoulders settle in on top of the rib cage, feeling into the rib cage all around the sides of your ribs, the front and the back of your rib cage, that thoracic spine that starts at the base of the neck and goes to about the bottom of your rib cage. So as you're breathing here, you can let the hands just naturally, gently expand and contract with the breath. So maybe the hands move out a little as you inhale, and hands move together as you exhale, just a little bit. They're not going to touch, but just kind of see, or maybe they don't move at all. So this mudra, and again, I think mudras are such a nice way to connect to the yogic tradition. And prana is energy, and vita means vital energy. And this mudra directs breath, awareness, and energy into the pelvis and abdomen. So as we deepen our awareness of these areas, we experience them as an inner spring of vitality whose energy can be channeled throughout our entire being as a vehicle for health, healing, and awakening. So the Vita Mudra activates qualities of the water element, including fluidity and flexibility, supporting the free flow of vital energy within both our subtle and physical bodies. The rhythmic abdominal breathing cultivated by this gesture, together with the activation of the water elements, helps to support the health of the reproductive and urinary system. So it's kind of really starting again in the base area here. Noticing the qualities of your breath. So maybe the inhale naturally begins to lengthen. Maybe the exhale begins to lengthen too. Just tuning into any senses, those sources of energy, the chakras, the nadis, your breath, prana, pranayama, breath energy. And then relax the palms face down on your thighs, letting go of this mudra, the Vita Mudra, and just taking a few moments to just kind of absorb and digest. Checking in your mind's eye with the curves of your spine, going from the sacrum through the lumbar to the thoracic, to the cervical, the neck spine. Just kind of feeling those interlinking curves flowing up to naturally support your body. And if you need to make any adjustments, maybe you need to draw the throat back just a little bit to, even though we're going to honor that natural curve in the back of the neck spine, just bring the head back a little or lift or lower the chin. Again, to find that right spot for you that feels like the weight of your head can really rest at the top of your spine above your sits bones. And if you need to open your eyes to see what I'm doing, we're just going to make a gentle fist with a thumb. So I'm going to come close here. So thumbs are going to be inside. You're going to curl the first 3 fingers around the thumbs. Thumbs are inside, and then gently touch the pinky fingers. So that's our second mudra, the only other mudra we're going to work with today. If you need to change your sitting position, change the cross of the legs, or do anything to adjust. And again, you can bring the hands kind of right in front of the abdomen. Allow yourself to keep your eyes open, soften the focus, close the eyes, whatever feels right here. Feeling into any sensations evoked by this mudra. This is the gesture of the backbone. You may be feeling some massaging effects through the kidney and the low back. This is good for releasing tension from the back, supporting your posture, massaging effect for the kidneys, the adrenal glands, and best of all, for some stress reduction. So maybe you notice the exhale beginning to lengthen. Just naturally. You can allow yourself to explore the touch of the pinky fingers. Just check in to see if you're pushing really, really firmly or if the pinkies are barely touching, and play around with finding the right pressure. The pressure that's right for you. And then releasing the palms face down, taking a few moments to absorb and digest that mudra. Its effects work their wonders. I feel that one right away. Anybody else? So let's go ahead, actually, let's go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center, creating a little space for a devotion, sankalpa, an intention for yourself, for what you're creating, for your journey, your life's purpose. And then you can release that. Anybody else notice, I know I have you guys on mute, but as soon as I press my pinky fingers together, I don't know if it does something to help me retract the shoulder blade. I don't know, it just really lines everything up, and I felt a lot of really wonderful energy through the backside of my body. I don't know if anybody else did. I'll look to see if anybody's nodding. You can give me a thumbs up. All right, like that, yeah? Yeah, all right, good, all right. Go ahead and continue to work here with some mobility in the neck. So take an inhale with the head forward, and then as you exhale, turn to the right. Inhaling center. Exhaling, chin lowers towards the chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale, turning your head to the other side, over to the left, just in a comfortable zone for you. Inhaling to center. So you're going to let your breath lead. If your breath is really slowed down, just take your time for this. When you exhale, drop the chin. Inhale to lift. Exhale to the right. Inhaling center. Exhaling to drop. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to turn. Inhaling center. Exhale, let the chin drop one more time. Whenever you get back to the center and you have a chance to turn to both sides, come on back to center. Good. Let's bring the palms together and then spin the fingers towards me, like you're pointing your hands towards me in a little prayer position, but you could take your fingers apart and then draw the fingers towards your heart. So just rotating a little side to side. We'll do a little work for the wrists here. And again, if you need to change positions, need to cross the legs in a different position or move to a chair, that's fine. So I'm just spinning the fingertips towards the camera, towards you, and then back towards my heart center. Yeah. And then try that with the back of the wrists together. Good. You try making some circles here. Just finding the right amount of pressure for you for a stretch for the back of your wrists. And then interlace the fingers, spin the palms towards me, reach them up and overhead, taking the palms towards the ceiling, and just bring the arms back only as far as you can without starting to arch your back. So maybe that means your arms are a little bit in front of your shoulders. Maybe as you draw the shoulders down, the elbows come alongside the ears, but there's no pressure here. So just finding that place where you can retract the, depress, release the shoulders downward, and stretch the palms up, straightening the elbows without locking. And exhale, release. Good. Well, inhale, sweep the left arm up, right hand, you can touch the fingers to the floor. Exhale, lateral stretch. Good. As you inhale, we're going to turn, I think I'm going to switch the breathing. You're going to turn the rib cage slightly, bringing the elbow towards the waist. And then, yeah, I think we're going to inhale as we raise up. That's going to be better. Inhale as you raise up. Exhale, elbow to waist, rotating just lightly that thoracic rib cage, the thoracic spine. Or staying in the lateral extension if that feels good. So just exploring movement here. You could add any other. Oh, yeah. We're starting to feel just a hint of a back bend, that extension in the upper back as you turn the heart towards the ceiling or where the ceiling meets the wall. Inhale, stretch the arm up and overhead. One more time. Exhale, release. Good. Let those left fingertips or hand rest on the floor. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, elbow towards waist. So maybe it's just elbow towards waist. Maybe that feels good. So play with that. And then next time as you exhale, elbow towards waist, play around with a gentle rotation of the rib cage again. So more in the thoracic. So it might not be real subtle. It might be a real subtle movement. Less about, not at all about cranking the lumbar. So just feeling that thoracic spine, maybe the neck spine moves a little bit just along with the upper back spine. All right. Inhale, reach the arm up and overhead. Exhale to release. Good work. All right, come off of your block and good. Go ahead and we're going to make our way, if this is comfortable. So a couple of options. You're going to make your way onto your forearms. Good. And then just lift one leg and we'll just take a few ankle circles. If that is not comfortable, so you could try a little gentle retraction of the shoulder blades to just find a little support for the upper back. If that is not comfortable, option B is to come all the way to the floor and just extend a leg, because we're mostly just working with the ankles here. And if you're sitting in a chair, you can just extend your leg. I don't think anybody is, but if you were sitting in a chair, you could just extend your right leg. So just some nice circles here, really feeling all aspects of your ankle joint. Getting in touch with the energy in your ankle. Circle a few times in the other direction. I'm going to come back into this forearm position. So circle a few times in the other direction. Yeah, but if this gets too intense for anybody's neck or shoulders, lay on your back. Good. And then take that foot down and the other foot comes up. Circling in whatever way feels right for your ankles today, either on the back with your leg extended, supported on your forearms. Just getting in touch, and then start to circle in the other direction. And release. Great. All right, carefully make your way into table pose. Oh, I did turn the recording on. Good. I just had that moment where I felt like I thought I had forgotten to do that. Good. All right. So making your way into table pose and then bringing the big toes together, knees apart, and draw back and move into devotional. So our all-time best, one of the all-time best ones for the low back here. And this is a great one too. If you need a little support for the back of the knees and you have extra mat or you have a rolled up towel, you could put that, roll it up right at the back of the knees. That can help. Another option for this one, if that is not available for the knees, is with the knees bent, you can hug here. So you can come up to sitting and hug. Oh yeah. So you're feeling that nice cat stretch. Feeling the creases of the hips moving towards the back of your mat. And inhaling, come on into table pose if that's available. Give your knees a little padding. I've got double mats. If you need to take your fists to the floor, totally fine there. And then take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to do this the other way. We're going to try our thoracic spine. We're going to try our cow with our exhale. And we're going to inhale to cat stretch, just so I can drive you crazy. So this is the opposite way, the way we usually teach it, the way I usually teach it. But just to try to mix things up here. Inhaling so hard to cat, exhaling to cow. And then if that's driving you totally bonkers, go ahead and come back into exhaling into your cat stretch and inhaling into your cow tilt. It's just good to try things a different way. And I do have one of my favorite teachers. I really should ask her She always teaches it the other way. I don't know if that's just the way she learned it. But one of my favorite teachers teaches the breathing the opposite way of every other teacher and myself that I've known. Good. And then coming into neutral, if it's available, take your left shin back, extend the right leg long. So you're coming into a side plank here. You're going to keep that left wrist under the shoulder. I want to reach that right arm up and give it some circles here. So again, if this position is not doable for you, you could do this sitting in a chair. You could do this kneeling. So you could do this kneeling if you wanted to, or sitting in a chair. Yeah. So adjust your circles. It doesn't have, the closer your arm is to the body, the more intense this will feel for the shoulder. Take a few circles in the other direction, changing direction here, wherever you're working. Ooh. So you don't have to, it could be a very shallow circle. Doesn't have to be quite so wide. You could play with the position of your upper arm bone, how your arm is angled. That might, so I don't want any pain in anyone's shoulder. Good. Release, and we'll take that on the other side. So now that right shin can come behind the knee, left leg extends, right wrist under the shoulder. So modified side plank or kneeling or on a chair. We'll circle. Let's take a few circles here. Oh, yeah. And circle in the other direction. And release. Nice. Coming back into your table pose. You can make your way, we're going to do a downward facing dog, one of three ways. So you can come from your table pose, tuck the toes, and lift the knees up and back. You can try your down dog that way. That's pretty intense on shoulders, so no pressure there. Otherwise, you can make your way to standing, and you could do your down dog with your chair, either resting the hands on the seat of the chair or the backrest. If you have a wall available, you can also face the wall and have the hands about shoulder height. So you'd be facing into the wall. Good. Creating that 90-degree bend at the hips. Pressing the ball out of the palm and the index finger into the wall or the chair or the floor. Good. Down dog variation here. And if you want to pedal, you can pedal a little bit, bending one knee and then the other knee. Let's see in here. Good. If it gets too intense, if you've been in your down dog on all fours, you can make a shift, or you can come up to standing. If you've got the wall or a chair, try lifting your toes, or again, if your arms are too tired and you're in regular down dog, try lifting all 5 toes and spreading them apart. Oh yeah. Good. And then release. All right, walk your feet towards your hands. Good. And carefully with an inhale, take your time coming up to standing. And find your mountain pose. So you can let the arms rest at your side. You could bring your hands to your heart center if you have a favorite hand position. If you were enjoying either one of those 2 mudras we worked with, the Vitam, the energy mudra, with the palms kind of supporting a little energy ball, or the thumbs in, the first 3 fingers with the pinky fingers together, you could just try that again. I'm going to try that second mudra for the low back. I felt it's already, when I press those fingers, pinky fingers together, I feel my shoulders release down and back. And I feel my low back supported. It's really amazing. I feel it right away. I don't know if anybody else feels that, but it really feels good. Alrighty, and then just imagine your waist as that dividing line between your top and your bottom body. And as you inhale, just let the crown of the head stretch away from the waist, and as you exhale, root down through the soles of the feet away from the waist. So we're just kind of gently feeling a lengthening in both directions. Good. And feeling through the back of the spine, those interlocking curves. All right, bend the knees lightly. Exhale, take a forward fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. If you want to take the feet a little wider, you can walk the feet a little wider apart. You could use your chair here. Always fine, totally fine to use a block or a stack of books if you need some support for your forward fold. Nothing wrong with that. And we'll feel the creases of the hips, that nice diagonal space between the top of the hips and the beginning of your torso, moving back into the body. Bend the knees lightly. Take your time. Inhale once or twice as you roll yourself back up into standing. All right. Let's go ahead and take a straddle stretch. So we're going to step the feet leg distance apart or wider. Checking in to see how the weight feels on your feet. So if it's all feeling like it's on the outer edge of the feet, bring a little into the inner edge. Just for fun, try lifting all 5 toes on both feet. We're not going to keep them there. Just see what that's like. See if you can move or articulate your pinky toe at all. And then set the feet down. Good. Let's take the back of the hands to the low back and work on a little back bend here. So we're going to retract the shoulders, broaden through the chest, and lift the heart lightly towards the ceiling. And then just let your neck spine, so don't drop the head back, but just kind of let that gaze move upward along with the upper back. Good. And try not to bring this into the low back. All right, good. And come forward. Exhale, fold. Again, block is grand here if you want to block. So we're going to work with any variation of a twist here. Bringing your left hand, and if you've got a block, totally fine. You bring your left hand right under your heart. I'm going to take that right hand to your hip as you start to turn towards the right. So just find that right amount of rotation for you. And breathe. Check in to see if the neck spine is forward of your thoracic back spine, drawing it back. And then option to continue on here. You can reach the left hand over that far right ankle. That might be one option. You could take the right hand all the way over to that hip crease, holding onto your yoga pants or shorts or sweatpants if you wanted to take a little bit of a bind. So you could play around with that twist. And then lastly, bending the left knee. Oh, yeah. Good. Oh. Just finding that nice little energizing twist. Straighten the right knee if you bent it. Release your yoga pants or undo the bind. And release that left hand from the ankle. Good. Come back to your straddle stretch. Take a nice breath. Bring the right hand under the heart. Left hand to the hip and turn. So stay right here. This is fine. If this is feeling good, stay right here. And then you just have options on the continuum. You could start by just taking your right hand to the left ankle. You could maybe bring that left hand across as it tries to find that hip crease area and hold on to your yoga pants. You could play with that. And then lastly, maybe that right knee bends. But left leg's going to stay straighter. And so we're twisting still towards the right. Sorry, we're twisting towards the left. Right knee is bent. Sorry. We're twisting towards the left. Right knee is bent. Straighten the right knee. Release the left hand. Good. And come back to center. Hands to the hips. Inhale, press down through the feet and rise all the way up. Good. Step the feet together. Good. Shake them out. Good. All right. All right. So let's play around with balancing. So if you want to do that off the mat, You could stand on the floor. You could do that with a wall. We're going to try tree pose. You could stand behind your chair if you want a little extra balance. You don't need to use it at all. Let's try starting with a left leg. And option A, is, which I find really, really challenging, so maybe I'm going to try that today, is to bring that left foot on top of the right. But any tree variation is fine today. You could bring that left foot to the shin. You could get wild and crazy and bring that left sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Any of those are going to be good. Like I said, I'm going to try that foot on top. I find that one really, really challenging. And then again, any mudra, if you want to try the Vitra mudra, just feeling the breath here, or if you're liking the thumb inside the fingers with the pinky fingers touching to support the low back, seeing what that feels like. Oh, it's windy in here. If it's windy where you are, just enjoy it. Okay, good. Release the mudra if you're using that. Take that left foot off the right foot, shake it all out, wherever you were. Trying to come out as gracefully as you go in, but you know what? I fall out of plenty of yoga poses, so it's always, it's always a journey. And then we'll take that on the other side. So standing on the left leg, we'll bring the right foot up, whatever you want, here, yay, or all the way up here. Any variation of tree that is right for you today. Actually, I didn't give you that option. So that's another nice one. With the toes on the floor, heel on the ankle. That's a great one. All right, any mudra or not. Any hands could be up and overhead if that feels, you go wild and crazy with your tree today. Whatever feels right here. Maybe you notice some differences side to side. Maybe they're subtle, maybe they're pretty obvious. Try drawing in right above the pubic bone. So you have a little star right there, and try just gently feeling that draw in and see if that helps with stabilization at all. All right, releasing the mudra if you've got it. Shake that right foot out. Give everything a little shake. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. All right, we'll come back to our straddle stretch. And if you have some books or a block, you can bring them over here to the left side of the mat. We're going to turn those left toes 90 degrees, and the knee's going to follow. That right heel is going to kick back a little, but the hips are going to stay right towards me. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, and then as you exhale, we're going to bend the left knee, taking the arms to T, coming into warrior pose. Warrior two pose. And then on your next inhale, we'll reach the right arm up and over, bring that left forearm lightly to the thigh, taking lateral angle. So here it's totally fine to keep the arms up straight towards the ceiling, top arm towards the ceiling. Bring it across for a nice angle. Draw in a little bit. Contract lightly through the left side waist as you draw the left side waist towards your spine. Take the top hand to your hip. We're going to try this from the floor. So we're going to bring the block to the inside of your front foot at any height here. I'm going to take it at the highest height if it's available to. Inhale, gently straighten the front leg, and you can keep a micro bend there. So watch, notice if you suddenly took all the weight into the knee joint. So you can keep a micro bend or find some ways to press through both feet here. And we'll lift the top hand, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Good, so good for the low back here. So reaching the crown of the head, we're tractioning the spine, crown of the head reaches over to the left, sits bones, reach towards the right. So any variation here, I should say, this is a great one too. So maybe here, rest that hand on the thigh, top hand on the hip, all good. Inhale to rise up. You can even bend that knee a little bit, bring both feet parallel. Good, and we'll step the feet together and shake it out. Let's come back into mountain pose. Hands at the heart center. Either of the two mudras. I'm going to try the the prana mudra here as I'm just kind of gently letting my hands mimic the motion of my breath. See if you can make any adjustments in the crown of the head, back of the neck, upper back, low back, weight in the heels to feel a little more natural alignment of your spine. And maybe it even involves letting the shoulder blades just feel like they're sitting right on top of the rib cage. So that rib cage is providing the support. The shoulders are resting there. And then when you're ready, we'll take a second straddle stretch. Bring your block over to the right side of the room. Turn the right foot and right knee 90 degrees. Kick that left heel out. Hips still are staying towards your long side of the mat. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Good, stretch tall. Exhale, bend the front knee, arms to cheek. So just a little fun way to come in there. Yay. Oh, yeah. So still feeling the front, back, and sides of your rib cage. How that supports the whole shoulder girdle. This next exhale, lateral angle, arm towards the ceiling or all the way over. Breathing here, contracting lightly the right side waist towards your spine. And again, noticing if you suddenly just sort of dropped your right ear towards your right shoulder, finding that right alignment for the spine, because it's just the next spine is just gonna follow the rest of the spine. Maybe you can bring it back just a little bit. Maybe the throat moves back just slightly. All right, top hand to the hip. Grab your block any height, or maybe you're going to take your hand to the top of the thigh. That's totally fine. Inhale, gently straighten that front knee. So both legs are straight-ish, so long as there's no pain, and top of hand reaches up. Triangle pose, Trikonasana here. Any variations. You could be here or here. You can have a little micro bend in that front knee, totally fine. So try, again, evening out the pressure between both legs, pressing down evenly through both legs, drawing the crown of the head away from the sits bones away. They lengthen away from the crown of the head. Micro bend the front knee. Inhale, rise up. Good. Bring that right toe, right foot parallel. And step the feet together, giving everything a little shake out. Taking a couple breaths. If it feels good to take a couple exhales through the mouth. And we'll take a second downward facing dog. Any variation, you can come to the wall. I'm going to come back to my chair here, even though I know my chair is a little bit low. My chair seat's a little low. And it feels like the back of my chair is a little high, but I'm going to try it anyway on the top here. So hinging at the hips. Feet can be about hip distance apart. Creases of the hips drawing in. So top of the thighs moving towards the hamstrings. Arms straight without locking the elbows. So again, maybe you explore here, maybe the ears are alongside the elbows, but maybe your head's a little higher than that, and that's okay. That's okay, so don't force your shoulders into the flexibility if it's not there. Breathe, lift the toes, all 5 toes, spread them apart. And release, set them down. Walk your feet back towards the chair. Or towards your hands if you took traditional down dog, totally fine. So if you're in a forward fold, that's fine, you can make your way. Or if you're in down dog, you can make your way to the floor coming into table pose. The rest of us are going to come down to the floor. And I'm going to have you come onto your belly. So if you're in table or a down dog, you can come to table. And then we're going to come onto our belly. So laying on your stomach, stretching the arms forward. Resting the forehead or the chin on the floor, whichever feels right for your neck. Slide your hands alongside your side ribs here, elbows off the floor. So just sort of feel that natural retraction in the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades lift lightly towards the ceiling. Draw the legs together and feel the inner thighs spinning up towards the ceiling, outer thighs spinning down towards the floor. Find that little star right above your pubic bone and draw it in, sending the sits bones towards your spine. And then inhale, just take a nice little baby cobra. Inhale into a little extension in the upper back and exhale to release. Good. Take a second cobra, inhale, finding that extension. We're working the muscles along the upper back, all along the vertebra of the upper back, and then releasing. Good. Fold the arms and relax. You could bend your knees here if you'd like and windshield wiper the shin side to side. Release the feet back to the floor. So it's all, any option is fine. You could stay right here if this is feeling yummy. Otherwise, we're going to rest the forehead on the floor and either take the palms alongside you, arms, fingertips reaching towards your feet, or you could try clasping your hands behind your low back. So see what's available to you. You could also hold on to a strap here. So if you need to grab a strap, you can hold on to the strap. That's another nice option. I'm going to take my hands alongside my good. And then lightly lift the head and then start to activate the upper back. You're going to press the top of the feet into the floor. We're going to depress or draw the shoulders lightly away from the ears. Exhale, release. Good. Fold the arms, take a little break. So again, we want to feel this more in the thoracic spine than we do in the lumbar. So we're trying not to contract the lumbar. We're trying not to activate all the muscles in the lumbar. We really want to activate the muscles in the thoracic ribcage. So we'll try that one a second time. You could either keep your hands the same, or you could even take a cobra if you prefer. You could try interlacing if you didn't try that. We're going to keep the feet pressing into the floor. Good. And inhale, retract the shoulders. Good. Find that work in the upper spine. And then the head's just coming along. So the head and neck are not doing any work. They're just lightly going along. And exhale, release. Whew. Good. All right. Fold the arms, rest here. You take your feet a little bit apart here. You can let your heels rock in and out. Let's take a little toe stretch here. So tuck the toes underneath. Maybe if it's available, it's a little harder, but maybe there's a way to kind of get those pinky toes tucked under. So just play around with that. See if you can get any tuck in the pinky toes. Feeling a nice stretch through the toes. You can try it another way here. You try bringing one foot up with the toes tucked under onto the heel. Yeah. Oh. So maybe that, oh, for that pinky toe side. And then I'm really feeling that toe stretch on the bottom foot too. So you're getting a toe stretch on the top and the bottom foot. But on that top foot, you might have to move it a couple times. So not ideal, but anyway, just giving you some options. If you took one foot up, you could try it on the other side too. Yeah, so just trying to get a little toe stretch in there. Oh yeah, all the way to that pinky toe. Don't forget your pinky toe. Oh yeah. I'm trying to move that top foot. I have to do it a couple of times to kind of get all the toes. Or keep both feet on the floor. Oh, good. All right. Nice. Let the top of the feet rest on the floor. Good. Slide your hands back under your shoulder and inhale yourself into table pose. Good. And then nicely. Good. We'll come forward here. We're going to try one more. So if you have a chair, I'll give you a couple of options. If you have a chair, good. You can come to kneeling with the chair behind you. So we're basically just going to take a variation here on camel pose. So one option, again, is to retract the shoulders and slide the hands, palms face down, to the chair. So you can just rest the top of the hands on the chair and then find that support for your upper back bend. And there's a nice stretch through the front of the shoulders. We're trying not to crank the lumbar. It's going to kind of come along. Another option is to simply take the back of your hands to the lumbar here. Good. Inhale to lengthen through the front side of the body, and then exhale. Support the low back, but find your upper back bend. Oh, yeah. Good. And come on back to center. Woo. Good. All righty. And then make your way to sitting. Good. You could let the legs stay out front. If you need to sit on a block, you could do that. Let's interlace the hand and take them. Let's interlace the hands and take them right to the base of the skull. Bring your elbows together and lift the elbows towards the ceiling. Oh yeah, and then just have the head be supported here. And then just find that nice stretch there. Maybe feel it through the triceps. Maybe feel it through the front side of the body. And then bring the gaze forward. You can release the back of the head, bringing the hands down. Stretch the legs long. We're gonna bring, let's try this. We're gonna bring both knees in. So knees could be parallel. I've got my right knee is on the outside here on the right side, I guess. And so that right foot is flipped over, that right ankle is flipped over. You could also do this more of a 90-90. I've got a 90-degree bend here and here, so you can try that. Either one is fine. And you could also, I like to do this, roll up your mat or take your towel and then just bring it under that right hip. Give yourself a little lift in that right hip and just see if you like that. But it kind of helps even my hips out. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. So I'm going to try Bharadwajasana here, Sage's twist. So again, this does not have to be very big. You know, maybe that left hand just lightly crosses over to the knee. Maybe that's the twist for you. Maybe that left hand comes over to the thigh. So again, be kind to yourself today. Just find a twist that's within your range of motion and just breathe a few times once you find it. You could try bringing that right hand over. So try to hold on to your yoga pants, a little bit of a bind. That does intensify the twist for me here. So lifting up lightly through the crown of the head. And release. All right, next we'll stretch the legs long. I'm going to unroll that side of the mat. I'm going to roll up this side. Yeah, and then take both legs over to the right. And then bring that left hip onto give that left hip a little bit of a lift. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead when you're ready. Exhale, twist to the left. Sorry, we're twisting to the, yes, we are twisting to the left. Yay. Breathing here. So maybe you feel a nice stretch through the belly. If you're feeling too much intensity in the low back, then make this a little less of a twist and imagine that your rib cage can rotate a little bit more mobily, even if it's not moving at all. Just thinking about the rib cage moving here. And then inhale, come on back to center. Let's take both legs long. You can unroll your mat. So we'll draw the left sole of the foot to the inner thigh. So a couple options here. We're going to do one-legged forward fold. So you could start, if you like, with your feet about mat's distance apart. So that might feel like a good way to do this one. Or even wider. You could have a wider straddle stretch here with that left foot coming in. Or you could have, so it's going to, if your foot is straight forward, it's going to be a little more intensity in the knee and the hip here is what I find. So again, find the right, the right straddle stretch for you. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. You could reach for your strap if you want and clasp and put it over that front foot. Exhaling to fold. So you can take a forward fold. Over, if you've got that leg wider, it'll be a little bit more of a twist if you reach over that extended leg. If you took more of a straddle, position. So just again, see what you need. You could fold more forward towards the midline. Try to let your sits bones peep out towards the back wall. And inhale, rise up. And then we'll take that to the other side. So extend the left leg, bring the right leg in. So I'm kind of taking mat distance today. I think that's about right for me. Mat distance, angle with the legs. That feels good for my knees today. Inhaling, reaching the arms up and overhead. So exhale, you could either have the strap over this extended leg. You could fold kind of right down the midline. So see what feels right for you today. It's a little more, again, it's a little more of a twist if your feet are wider. But it does feel good for the low back. So all these forward folds, a side position standing we did, are so yummy, yummy yumkins for the low back. And then inhale, rise up. Good. Stick both legs long, give the legs a little shake. Right. And how are we doing on time here? Oh my goodness, where does the time go? All right, so let's bend the knees or come onto your side. We're gonna roll onto your back. You can hold on to the back of the thighs, coming onto your back. Find your strap if you've got it. We're gonna do one more good one for the low back. So you can take the strap over. Let's take it over the left leg, just to mix it up today. We've been starting on the left today. Right foot on the floor, knee is bent, left leg is extended. Use the strap, or you can take your hands behind your thigh if that feels good today. But otherwise, letting the back of the shoulders rest into the earth. Breathing here, finding all that openness you've created through the back side of the body. Maybe checking in with tracing the line of your spine as you lay on the back. Just noticing maybe there's a little lift in the back of the neck. It's not flat down into the earth, but not so much of a lift. So maybe you want to take the head back just a little so that you can flatten out the back of the neck lightly. And any option here, you can keep the right leg bent. You could extend the right leg if you want. And I think a couple weeks ago we lifted the right leg and just did a little rocking. I curled myself up so you could play with some rocking here. Oh yeah, or not. Little rocking horse, yeah. So I'm drawing that extended left leg towards the chest. I'm curling my chest up lightly, and the right extended leg is a little off the floor. I'm gonna let that right leg rest on the floor, take the strap off, and hug the right knee in. We'll Pavana Muktasana here, one-legged wind reliever. And release the left knee to the floor, then the right knee, take the strap over. All right, oh. Breathing here into the back side of the right leg, feeling all the back side, all the places your back touches the floor. So the outer edges of the shoulder blade, maybe the inner edges of the shoulder blades, any places along the vertebra, the hips, the sacrum. Option to extend the left leg. And again, just see how that goes. Probably that right leg's going to move a little farther away from the chest. That's okay. Take a few breaths. And last option is to roll or lift the chest lightly, lift that left leg, and you could try a little rocking. Good. Rock that right leg towards you. And that left leg will lift a little. Okay. Oh. All right, set the head and shoulders down, release that left leg to the floor. Oh, yeah. And release the strap, draw the right knee into your chest. Left leg's extended, Pavana Muktasana. Draw both knees into your chest, rocking a little side to side. Anything here at the end that would feel good. You could take a happy baby, taking the feet towards the ceiling, reaching for the outer edges of the ankles or behind your thighs. My latest favorite is to kind of let one leg, I kind of roll over like to the left and my left leg is straight in the happy baby, and then, oh, I fold it in and extend the right leg. So I'm just kind of folding one leg in as the other one extends and rocking a little side to side. Yeah. Giving your back a little massage. Okay. And then any last pose, stretch, movement. Putting on any articles of clothing, and an invitation. If you've got a wall available, you could always take legs up the wall. If you had your chair available, and because we have a low back class theme today, if you want to do your Shavasana with your shins on your chair, that's your option. I think this does a nice traction for the low back. So, but any way you want to do your Shavasana is totally fine. I'm going to turn out the lights. Oh, find anything that's comfortable. I'm going to sit up and hold our space. Comfortably closing the eyes. Letting go of any gripping in your jaw. Just letting the next few exhales bring relaxation into your body. Every exhale, feeling yourself relaxing a little bit more. And feel the muscles in your eyes relaxing. Feel your eyelids resting gently on top of your eyes. Just feel the gentle ebb and flow of your breath. you want to stay in Shavasana, you feel free to stay in Shavasana. Otherwise, let's feel yourself coming back into your body, feeling to the edges of your skin, feeling the temperature in the room. Start to move any parts of your body, wrists, ankles, toes, fingers, whatever wants to move. Gently turn your neck from side to side if you're lying on your back. That might want to happen. Take any stretch and turn onto your side, rolling onto your side if that feels comfortable. And then when you're ready, you can come into a sitting position. Just taking your time here at the end of your practice, the end of your day. You can bring your hands to your heart center. Reconnecting if you set a devotion, an intention. Just finding that for yourself. And I so appreciate you choosing to practice with me, but just mostly choosing to practice. Making that choice to come to your mat, not always an easy one. So thanks for being here today. Namaste. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. I know the Y will keep you posted as their reopening plans proceed, as we know more from our mayor about what we can do when. So, good. Okay.
Thanks, Shauna. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. I was going to try to,
Unmute.
Alrighty. Yeah, I was going to try to unmute everyone, but that's okay. Thanks, Barbara. Alrighty.
See you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, Mark. Bye. I think Charlie and Margie were here. So thanks for coming. Great. Bye-bye.